Welcome to the Jonny channel. How you doing tonight? We are finishing up our Voltron build. There's not much to do. There is still a little bit. We got to do the sword and shield. As you can see, this is what it's been about for the last few weeks. We got all 5 lions here. We started off here with the yellow lion. Went to the blue, which you guys unfortunately did not see because I still have not uploaded. Green. Well, nope, sorry. After blue was black. Alright, and then red and green were the ones we did last week. So, don't know if you can tell or not, but I have actually adjusted my camera a little bit. It's now a little bit more overhead, experimenting a little bit with how to get a more, not necessarily close-up view, but a more full view of what I'm working on, since I'll be doing the Y-Wing next week for May the 4th. And that's something that I'll be doing starting at 1 o'clock. Hope you'll join me. Obviously, don't join me for the whole time. It's going to be about a 5-6 hour build. Just depends on how well things go. But I'm looking forward to doing that. One thing we do have to keep stock of is I have my little piece of paper over here. Has the times on it of all the lions and how long it took me to build them. So we are sitting right now at 4 hours, 28 minutes, and 6 seconds. So what I'm going to do is actually move these guys out of the way and get their instruction books out of the way because we're not going to need those right now. And then that way we'll have room to do the last one, which is, again, the sword and shield. So, alright, instructions are going to go up there. We're going to line the lines up over here. And we're going to finish up the sword and shield. Alright, so, like always, we're going to get our trusty timer out, only it's a little bit different this time. I also have this other thing that I'm going to start here. I know it says Netflix up at the top, but that's just because Netflix is the ones doing the cartoon I like. But this is I wanted to show this first. This is the joining of Voltron and how they do it. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do it this quickly, but it takes about a minute whenever they do a full animation showing of the joining together. And how this comes together is not obviously going to be exactly how they do it in the cartoon, but it's still pretty cool to see. So anyway, while that's going on, I'm going to get the timer ready to go, and then we are good to go. It's set up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so as you can see, now I have a new timer. So instead of using my phone, now I have an actual timer there that's going to keep track of what we're doing. Don't know if you can tell because of the lighting or whatever, but this has kind of the talking about Voltron and how the build came to be about and such. But we're going to go past all that and get to the actual instructions for the sword and the shield. Alright. So moving right along. Hope everyone is having a great day. Hope everyone can hear everything fine. If you can't, let me know, or if it sounds fine, just let me know as well. Shout out to anyone that's watching. This is not going to be nearly as long as the other ones that I've been building, simply because it's not much left. But we're going to see how long it takes to do the putting together of the lions, which I think is going to be fun to do and quite unique because there's not many other, there's no other Lego sets that do anything quite like that. So we got a bunch of these little hooky pieces here that we're putting on, and again, the animations that you're seeing are from the newer series, not the original series. And again, the sword and shield that we'll be doing is from, as are the lions, is from the original series back from the 80s. So the look is definitely a good bit different. Also, let me know in chat or whatever as you're doing things or as you're watching. Let me know if you can see things better, different, worse than I've had it in the past. If you've been part of the festivities over the last couple weeks. I gotta find one last piece, and it's the only one of its kind left. Let's see where it's hiding. Sometimes you look at pieces for so long, and it just, you know, it just gets to you, and you can't see them anymore, so to speak, or at least not the ones you're looking for. So I'll go to the next set of pieces that I know I'm gonna need while my eyes adjust and figure things out. Thanks, Jerry, for letting me know. Appreciate that. Alright. Where is that final piece? I know it's here. Unless, lo and behold, oh, there it is. I actually have it stuck in the bag. That's why I couldn't find it. How about that? Alright. So here we go. Some black pieces here. Alright. I really like how in this particular build, and I've not seen it in any others really, they have a lot of these shiny pieces. Every now and then you'll have a shiny piece in other builds, but this has been really a nice thing that they've had. I'm going to skip that because that's annoying. And the pieces just look really cool. I mean, it just adds to it, you know. It kind of has, so you can see the little shine to it. It really, really stands out. All right. Then we got some interesting pieces that they have, interesting shapes here for this thing, because it's going to have an emblem of some kind on it, or you know, whether we're going to build it or make it. It looks like we're going to build it. There we go. Last one of these. And we've got a kind of a unique piece that's a 5x1 flat cross, I guess you would call it. I've never seen a piece like that before. All right. There's the lions doing their thing again. The look of them is definitely very unique and cool. And it's one of those things too that if you think about it, like who comes up with an idea like that of like, hey, let's just put 5 lions together and they form a giant robot. You know, a lot of that stuff comes from Japan, I know, but it's just one of the things that, like, you know, who comes up with those kind of ideas? All right, so it looks like this is what's going to hold it. Now the question is, right, where does it go? Right on the stud holes, it looks like, which is different than you normally see. And then that looks like that's what's going to hold it so that the lion can hold on to it. And a couple more pieces for support, just so it doesn't go anywhere accidentally. Now we flip it over and put these nice cool wing things on it, which are also shiny. The whole thing kind of has a shine to it, which I think is really going to be cool and stand out. Whoops. Could have combed my hair. Yeah, it's kind of a losing battle right at this point, simply because it's just so long. So not that I don't see the point, but I kind of don't see the point. And I have that backwards. Oh, that's different. So these little wrenches, in order to make it, it's hard to see, in order to make it so that you can fit these on properly, you have to put the shiny parts onto the wrenches and then connect them to what you want. Otherwise they're backwards. So very, very little pieces. Alright, shield is almost done. Once I get these last two on. And here we go. The last one. Alright. So that looks, I mean, like that really does, that really, you know, I'm not sure how it looks on the camera, but it definitely glows, so to speak. Alright, so there we go. Last part is going to be the sword, obviously, because you can't have a shield without a sword, right? I don't think anyone ever just had a shield, but I could be wrong. I know there was the one character in He-Man that was, I think his name was Man-at-Arms, but he didn't have a sword. He just ran into people. Which, hey, you know, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But yeah, he definitely did not have a sword with him whenever he did his fighting. But generally, if you have a shield, you're going to have a sword. And that only makes sense. You have your defense and you have your offense. A little bit of both. Alright. It's looking pretty good. I definitely like the more modern look for various reasons. Mostly because, oh, that's kind of a unique piece. Looks kind of like like a blade. I mean, I know it's supposed to look like a blade, but it looks kind of like it was specifically made for this. I don't think I've seen a Lego set that has something like that before. I could be wrong. I mean, like, I don't buy every Lego set as much as people might think that I do. Definitely can't afford it for one thing. I mean, Legos are just, there's just too many of them. But I'm not a big fan of all the different types, so I definitely don't get every single one. All right. Lego sets are interesting too in the way that the instructions do things. Like sometimes you'll have like this one is like, oh, put these 2 little pieces on, then put these 2 little pieces on. When you probably could do a lot more with any particular instruction, but you know, that's the way they choose to do it, I guess. Looks like we're getting ready to put the hilt on. And we got more shiny pieces, which that's going to look cool for the sword. It fits right in the middle. Very, very unique look to this particular thing. Yep, you can see the shine there. Some little curvy pieces. I forgot those. That might be why they do instructions the way they do, in case people forget stuff. Alright. I typically don't forget things, but every now and then I do miss something. Alright. I got 2 of these little red dots. And a little bit of color. And we are almost done. Got 2 little hookies. Looks like they're gonna hold. I know what that's for. Looks like they. It's got your typical type of guard that swords typically do. Looks cool. It's definitely a different kind of sword. It's got, normally a sword tapers to a point, and you know that's that, and you're done. A lot of that has to do with like the weight of the sword and how it, you know, how it's able to be swung and stuff like that. But in animes and stuff, like, you can do whatever you want. So you know, you can make it with a giant head on it so that it's really top heavy, but you know, whoever's when it's a giant robot swinging it, I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, so it looks like we're putting it together. So we have these little tubes. This little tube goes in there. Oh, I forgot the single one first. Single tube. And then a double. And then a black one. And then we do this again. Just seems really long for some reason. And then we build the last little part of the hilt. Now it'll be interesting to see how this goes together, because the lion has to hold on to it, and the lion has a thing in its mouth. So it'll be interesting to see. They probably have you take it apart. That would be my guess. And we put this last blue hickey on, which is, again, is kind of a little guard. And we're done. Alright, so let's do time. Whoops. My timer thing. I gotta pause it. There we go. And what are we at? 12:49. So I'm gonna add the 12:49 to our existing time, which was 4:28:06, and what that gives us is 55 seconds, 40 minutes, and 4 hours. So 4 hours, 40 minutes, and 55 seconds is our final time for getting everything built. All right. Hi, Yor. Yes, I know, I need a comb. I'm sorry. It's just the way the hair goes. Alright, so I'm going to move the sword and shield off to the side, and then we are going to put this thing together. So I'm going to get rid of the timer because, well, we don't really need. Well, we'll see. Let's reset it, and we'll see how it's going together. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm just making sure that was sound was off on that. So what we're going to do is get the timer going, and I'm going to start, and this will be the first time going through the instructions for this. I have an idea as to how it's going to go together, but it'll be interesting to see how it does. So, all right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so lion tail goes on top and around, so it comes flipped over. Looks like it lays flat. So pretty close. Alright. So legs are moved back. These ones are moved up at a 45, it looks like. And then the feet are put up there. Those ones are flat and done this way. Okay. Alright, and so now we do the fun part. This is where the whole thing moves. So it disconnects from the one hook, and there's another hook that's inside here that you really can't see. These two black hooks that are right here. It's gonna rotate up, snap in place. There we go. It says click click, and there we go. So part of the thing is, if you notice, as I rotated it, the legs, the way this is designed, the legs kind of rotate too. So the legs still need to stay up here. Otherwise, they kind of get in the way of it standing. But there we go. So we got one foot. He's a little topsy, which is kind of funny. Don't know how that's supposed to be very supportive, but you know. Alright, so now onto the blue. It's going to be pretty much the exact same thing. Putting that together. Legs back and forward. And these ones go straight back. And these ones go forward. Make sure the mouth is closed. And now we're going to do the same thing where we do a click, and the legs still have to go back. That still looks kind of funny. So, all right, foot number 2 done. All right, so there's 2 legs. And again, they are kind of weird, but I think it's because the back. I know the back legs kind of tilt a little bit, so I think that's why it's set up the way it is. Because when they're together, then they'll balance each other. But whenever they're apart, they're floppy. So, all right. Black lion is next because, well, you kind of got to get your support together. So he is going to have his wings fold out. The wings are actually pretty cool because they're like double jointed. They're kind of neat. Alright. So go like that. We're going to fold the wings up. And his tail was going to flip over as well. Look how that fits in there just nicely. Now this one's kind of weird because the legs come apart, as you can see in the instructions. And they flip over again. That's a support thing. So, all right. So there we go. We got the legs where they should be, and that's what those instructions show. And then, oh, okay. So the feet get stretched out. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how they go. I do know there's holes in these so that they can fit down in. So, and now we get the, all right, we got to flip it over. And the lion feet, these front ones, just fold up. All right. And now these ones come out and apart too. You'll notice that, you see how there's red around here. There's red on top here that's going to come together. These ones are tough. All right. There's a lot of hooks. There's 5 separate hooks there, and there's 6 on the inside here, so it's pretty stiff. All right, so those all click in. Whoop, almost knocked the leg over. That would have been bad. All right, so let's get the wings kind of the way they should be. All right, so that's done. So now his arms are the way they should be. Aha, so we got yellow going in here, and actually this is kind of cool. Color coordinated, yellow and blue. So yellow line goes on this side, and there's 4 hooks and the slide in, and then 4 hooks obviously over there. So the foot actually slides in somehow. It is not sliding. Ah, there we go. So this will be fun. Okay. Definitely not the easiest thing to do. But remember, if you saw whenever we started the video thing, they just did it in the air, so you didn't have to worry about pressure or gravity or anything. All right. Oh man, he's tall. I'm gonna adjust the camera a little bit. He's almost as, he's almost as tall as the one that's on the box. Actually, he's taller. That is pretty cool. All right, so red line, his tail goes the other way, kind of folds down and just sits there. Now his legs go straight. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing because I looked at Voltron. I'm gonna go past this guy because this guy's annoying. Whatever he's doing. I mean, that's great for him, but yeah. Whatever. Alright, and these legs go up. Kind of different. Okay. And now they go, oh, okay, that's interesting. So they go all the way back, and these come forward. So they're flat. That's interesting. So it's like that, and now we just put it on the arm. Now this will be the fun part, because I'm not sure right exactly where it goes. I mean, I sort of see, but it has to go straight in because they're brand new pieces. Otherwise, it won't go. Yeah. There we go. All right. So we got one arm. All right. Now the cool thing about this, the way the lines are, I'll move it over a little bit, is, I mean, it rotates like this, but then also this part of the arm moves too, which is kind of cool. All right. Same thing with the green line. This is definitely way longer than a minute to put it together. Alright, straighten these out. This one's feet go this way. Okay. And then not quite the same as that one, because this one had its feet fold all the way back. This one cannot because it's got this little, the way it's designed, but you know. And this one's gonna go in as well. Turn them a little bit so I can see it better. Oh man, new pieces are very difficult to push in whenever it comes to these kind of a joint. There we go. Jeez, that was tough. I can't see. I mean, it's for 16 and older, so I guess you need to have a little bit of strength behind you. All right, so arm number 2. You can see even this is where it should be, and that's how much it hangs down. So there is a little bit enough weight to them that, you know, the pieces, the Lego, it's kind of, you know, difficult to hold on. So they had to do a lot of figuring that stuff out. All right, last is going to be the head. So it comes down. Put that down and put his ears out. And we have Voltron, Defender of the Universe, almost done. We gotta take our sword apart. Take out that middle little thing that we put on. And it goes in the red lion's hand. Okay, we'll put the hilt in the other side, the bottom of it. Kind of goofy. Oh, that adds even more weight simply because, you know, it hangs out and stuff. And then the shield, put it on this side, comes over here. So let's raise his arm a little bit. Tilt that. And there we go. We are done. And that took, wow, I feel awful. That took 10 minutes to, I mean, I know it was my first time doing it. I'm sure I can do a lot faster this time. I was just trying to figure it out. But wow, 10 minutes, 38 seconds. Yeah, so if I was being relied on in the world for making Voltron happen, the world would have blown up. I mean, we would have been done for. So there he is. I'm actually going to bring the camera down a little bit so you can see him more directly. And actually, if you put the box behind him, he is just as tall as the box almost. I mean, that's pretty cool. I love it. The way that comes out and everything, really neat. Transforming him is not the easiest, simply because it's Legos. I mean, Legos is not the best, but yeah, there it is. This is the Voltron build, and it is complete and done. And we completed the build in 4 hours, 40 minutes, and 55 seconds, which is, you know, pretty nice. It's interesting because it's 2,300 pieces, and I know the Falcon is 7,500. And I think this had way, you know, for the number of pieces, it had a lot of smaller ones. So because of that, it took a little longer to do. So one last thing before we're done, I told you it was going to be a shorter one. I'm going to shove him out of the way a little bit. Well, 2 things actually. Voltron looks pretty cool, and he's actually very sturdy. I'm just moving him; he's pretty sturdy. First thing, if you're in the Pittsburgh area or some area that has Turners, this is special. It's blue bantha milk. It's for May the 4th be with you. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it says May the 4th. So it's tasty. It tastes like birthday cake. Turner's just turned 90, so they had their birthday cake a couple weeks ago, and then because May the 4th is coming out, they had that. They changed it, which I don't know if it's legal. I don't care. It's pretty cool. The other thing is next week, Monday, this is being built. This is the Y-Wing, the Lego Y-Wing, the Ultimate Collector Series, which has been my favorite series to do with Lego as I became an adult. And that is starting at 1 p.m. I'll have kind of a little intro, and then I'm just going to start building. While that's being built, I've kind of added things as I've been working on streaming and figuring things out. So you see the little pictures down here in the lower corner, switching, and me up in the upper right, and then some video playing and a new timer and stuff. I'm gonna have the timer going the entire time, but I'm also gonna have the Star Wars movies from the original trilogy playing, because that's where the Y-Wing, that's where this ship first showed up, is in Star Wars. They're going to be playing up here in the corner, very low volume, but it's not going to be like an official Star Wars. There's a group of people that did I guess a project, so to speak, and they've been doing it for years, and they call it the despecialized Star Wars Empire and Return of the Jedi. Basically, they took most of it from the Laserdisc version of Star Wars Empire and Return of the Jedi, and they accumulated from all the different versions that are out there that are the normal version. So non-special edition things, but re-releases and stuff like that, and they went through scene by scene, cell by cell, and took everything and said, all right, which is the best one, which is the best version of these, put them all together and made essentially the 1080p versions of them, because Star Wars obviously wasn't released like that, because it first came out, it came out in the movie theaters, but then was released to video and stuff like that. It was made for, square versus widescreen or any of the stuff we have like 4K and stuff like that. So the despecialized version is a project that, pardon my fleece, that they put together with, just a labor of love, and they worked hard, and they're constantly looking still, even though they're done with it. They're still looking at different versions and saying, you know what, we can clean up some of this still more. So that's going to be playing. I just double checked the Star Wars one that I downloaded today, and it works great. So I'm looking forward to it. So going to be building the Y-Wing, going to be showing some stuff, and it's going to be straight through, no stops. If I have to take a break, I take a break. The timer keeps going. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you had fun. And hope to see you on Monday. Have a good one. Take care.